Hey everyone, it's Brad here from Yu-Gi-Oh! Team Plus One. Today I'm coming at you guys with my second place at Altoona, Iowa Regional deck profile. So I lost one game all day. That is it. And I got second place, unfortunately. It really wasn't in my hands. It was down to the last round, and I got paired. I was tied with my buddy Fletcher, and I got paired against an X1. He got paired against the undefeated. And he unfortunately lost to the undefeated, which I feel like he played the best he could have. He did really well. I'm proud of how he did, and I'm proud of how everybody else did on our team. And so I'm going to go over some of the cards I'm going to run, or I was running, and some of the cards I want to run now afterwards. And I'll give some reasoning behind this, but yeah, here we go. So I got one Denko Second in the main. This is because Wavering Eyes, Solemn, Torrential, Bottomless, Time Space. A lot of cards that hit Pendulum summons. So having one Denko, really helpful. One Max C. This deck does like having combo pieces, kind of, even though it is a very wide array of combo pieces it can have. So having more than one Max C seemed cloggy to me, even though it is like almost never dead. Cosmos is probably the most dead matchup you're going to see a Max C in, and I played one Cosmo all day. So I was playing Magicians and Performages. So for the Magicians, I'll go through those first. I ran Triple Dragon Pit. This is our 8 scale that pops back row. Literally just so dumb. The fact that I can clear 1 or 2 back row every single turn for even or a +1 sometimes, it's just so dumb. We got Dragon Pulse Magician. I use this guy. I didn't use him too much, but I used his his scale effect once, I think, all day. But I did bring him out with Ebon Illusion Magician sometimes. So I think he is necessary still, but I would never play more than one. Triple Oath Dragon. Some people have been dropping this to 2, and I honestly don't see why. It's probably 95% of the time the scale you want to have in your Pendulum Zone for the low scale. Because every single turn it's there, it makes you go +1. And it allows you to fuel your discards for Dragon Pit. And then once it is removed from your Pendulum Zone, it's going to fuel it even more because you can add stuff from the graveyard back to your hand. Very ridiculous. You have to be kind of smart with how you play it, though. If you're summoning into back row, I would suggest never summoning more than one, because if you lose all 3 of your Oath Dragon Magician, you have lost the game. There's no way for you to continue maintaining advantage in the game. We got one Noble Dragon Magician. This is the tuner of the deck. It's necessary. You have to have access to Meteor Burst. Meteor Burst won me probably half my games. The card's very dumb, so you got to run Noble Dragon. One of it, you don't want to see more than one of it, really. You don't ever need access to a second Meteor Burst to be summoned from your extra deck. You can bring it back with Absolute Dragon, but I'll get into the extra deck stuff more later. Noble Dragon's really good to discard, because it's pretty much the same in the hand as it is in the graveyard, so very solid at 1. Triple Wisdom Eye. Wisdom Eye can pretty much replace itself to become any scale. I'll go over some combos maybe in a later video. I kind of want to do a very in-depth guide on these. There's so many possibilities for techs and so much possibility for different skillful plays you can do in this deck. And I honestly think it's going to be the best deck between now and the release of Breakers of Shadows. Even with the addition of the new Draco Slayer card that's going to be released sometime next weekend, I believe. I think this deck is going to maintain just too much of a edge on the game right now. We got triple Performage Skull Crobat Joker. This is going to allow me to add Magicians or Odd Eyes. I think I added Odd Eyes once with this all day, so it's something to keep in mind. But normally you're going to go ahead and you're going to add your 8 scale, or you're going to add Dragon Pit Magician. Sorry, Dragon Pit Magician is your 8 scale, or you're going to add Wisdom Eye. So those are all the Magicians I ran. I then ran Performages, so I ran triple Plush Fire, triple Damage Juggler, and 1 Hat Tricker. And I honestly thought I was running a Trick Clown up until round 1 where I was siding out and I realized, hey, I didn't put this in my deck. So I would definitely run a Trick Clown. It is very important. I missed it very much throughout the day, even though I didn't ever lose a game that I could have won because of it. I only lost one game all day, and it was pretty much just gone. It was to my buddy Fletcher. I opened up triple damage juggler, double dragon pit, and couldn't really do much. So these Performages, some people are like, why are you running these over Magispectors, like with the traps? And first thing I'm going to say is I think traps are actually terrible right now. A single trap is so easy to remove that it's going to be dead and just let you have like a -1 pretty much. It just, you set it there and it gets popped by your opponent for who goes +1 popping it. So there's like actually no reason to play just a few traps right now. I mean, if you're playing Satellars, obviously you can play your 15, 20 traps, but if you're playing 5 or less, I say just cut them. Also, the Performages are going to be amazing at outing floodgates. So I am actually a firm believer that this deck does not need floodgates. And there are going to be people who try to put it in there. People have already started bringing up the idea of Mechanical Hound. And I agree that it's going to be a very good card if it works. But first of all, it's not searchable. There's no synergy between this and your deck besides the fact it's a level 7. So, I mean, you can make a rank 7, you can Pendulum summon it, yes. But there isn't, like, combo plays you can do because of you drew into it. I mean, it's a floodgate, that's what it does. And I'm not saying it doesn't do the floodgating well. It does, but it's not perfect. So, this deck needed Performages to out anti-spell. With the addition of Hat Tricker, I was able to out anti-spell pretty much the very first turn I saw it came up against me. Round 1, game 1, the guy flips over anti-spell after having 4 set. I pop the anti-spell and continue to FTK him. So, honestly, traps don't matter anymore, in my opinion. We got triple Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. It's very powerful. It creates OTKs. It keeps you having an advantage. It's able to remove itself from the scale in your end phase, so you're not going to be wavering dies. Very, very good card. And then, by far the best card of the deck, Magispector Unicorn Kieran. It was actually ridiculous. I played, this might not be the best example, I played against Cyframes, and I tributed summon for this, and he couldn't do anything. There was no way he could remove this from the field, at all. And then I played this against the mirror match, and I went first both games. I summoned this and a Skull Crobat Joker, and he made a play, and I added a Skull Crobat Joker to my hand, and he ended his turn. He couldn't do anything else, because I stopped his play. Then I normaled Skull Crobat Joker again, and I won because I just had so much freaking advantage. This card is so ridiculous with a synergy with Wisdom Eye and Skull Crobat that I honestly am considering bumping it up to 3 if I find a way to make space for it. But I think that's all the monsters in the main deck that I need to talk about. Spells, triple Pendulum Call. Card's going to stop you from being Wavering Dies. Triple Wavering Eyes, this is going to stop you from being Wavering Eyes. That's the only reason why I was playing 3 of it. I actually don't think it's good for the deck. I just think it's so ridiculous against the Pendulum Mirror match who is going to Wavering you that you should run 3 in the main. I played 1 Instant Fusion to make a boosted Absolute. When you make a Norden, bring back something, Dweller, then you get a 3300 attack Absolute. It's pretty ridiculous. Then, for the field spell, I decided to run 2 Terraforming, 2 Sky Iris, and 1 Chicken Games. So what this does, it gives you 5 single good draws. If you manage to open up 2 of them, there is 1 combination of 2 out of, I think, I don't know, out of a lot of combinations of 2 that is going to be bad. So if I open up the 2 Sky Iris, it's bad. If I open up 2 Terraforming, really good. Open up Terraforming Chicken Game is good. Terraforming Sky Iris, good. I mean, This minimizes bad ways to draw into Sky Iris and maximizes good ways to get to it. So I think this is the best ratio, and I honestly would not drop chicken games because it definitely won me a game. I'll get into that more, or I can link you to my analysis of my day. I did a regional report on Reddit, and I'll link you to that in the description. So side deck. This is kind of a lackluster side deck, honestly. There are some changes I want to make, but here we go. Chaos Hunter, really good against Cosmos and Infernoids. Level 7, you can Pendulum Summon for your hand. 2,500 attacks was pretty freaking big. And, I mean, you have good cards you can discard. I have Damage Juggler, and I also have Noble Dragon, and I should have Trick Clown, but I forgot it. Double Curry Photon, so this is actually something you guys should look into right now. So currently, Magician Pendulum, if you get Max Seed while you are playing Magician Pendulum, you are able to continue to go off, no matter how many cards they draw, if they have like a clear field, and you're going to be able to go into your battle phase and kill them, simply because they can't activate monster effects in the battle phase because of Odd Eye's Meteor Burst Dragon. And that's going to stop Scarecrow, Battle Fader, Damage Juggler, lots of things that happen in the battle phase. Battle phase effects, like if you run over Forerunner, run over Dark Destroyer. Meteor Burst is really dumb at getting rid of those. So Curry Photon is something that you're going to be able to draw into off of Max C, and you'll be able to live, because you can activate this in the main phase, pay 2,000 life points, and you take no damage for the turn. So something I would side in against a Magician Mirror match. I did side it in against Pepe once, and Magicians twice. Saw it once, and it worked beautifully, because I won the game that I saw it. Very, very good card. Double Maxi, I'm actually going to drop this down to 1. I don't think it's necessary to have 3 Maxi between the main and the side, even though Maxi is just so ridiculous. I don't ever want to see see 3 of it. If that's even a justifiable defense for not running 3. But 2 is definitely more than enough. Just my opinion for the deck. We got 1 Samurai Cavalry of Repeteer. This was mainly for the Cosmo matchup, and it was to out Vanity Fiend, which I didn't see like as much of a problem because my scales could destroy it, potentially. But it definitely could have been a problem if I didn't have the right cards. This would add another card to help me get rid of it. And then this is going to be great against Cosmos, because if you drop this and make a Dweller, you're able to just continually crash into any ship they make, and they will lose. 1 Jinxie Magician. I was citing this because it doesn't really have much synergy with the deck, and it's a Magician I know, level 7, yeah, it's a low scale, which we needed another 8 scale, honestly. But, I mean, it is very, very important against the Satellar matchup. If you can do this and they go Altair, you chain, you stop their Altair effect, I mean, it's game over for them. Jinxie is very good at doing that, and I'll give it that. So I did side 1 of it, because siding 1 of it gives you 3, 6, 7 ways to get to it. So actually like 9 if you count Wavering Eyes. But yeah, then we got double Magical Spring. This was more for Pepe. If they activate Luster and then they activate Plush Fire, and let's say they have a Brilliant Fusion face up, you're gonna go really plus, and you're gonna lock them out of Pendulum Summoning for a turn. Really good, honestly. I don't know. I didn't get to use it against the Pepe player I played. I just beat him without it, honestly, so I'm not sure if I need it even, but it is very good if it does work. Triple MST, this was mainly for Anti-Spell, so I could chain it to the activation of Anti-Spell, and then it was also for Satellars, because I could chain it, because I'm going to be signing this in against Satellars because they run Anti-Spell, obviously, but it's also because I can chain it to their Call the Haunted, to their Fiendish Chains, whatever I need to. 2 Pendulum Impenetrable. So this is, in my opinion, better for our deck like playing in my deck than Wavering Eyes. I really don't want my scales to leave that often. So if I activate my scales and they Wavering, instead of chaining a Wavering that could be stopped by Damage Juggler, I could instead chain Pendulum and Penetrable, which won't be stopped by a Damage Juggler, and it will fizzle their Wavering. And now they can't be targeted or destroyed for the rest of the turn. So very, very good card. It's also good against Pepe and Magicians, because if they go activate Wisdom Eye and try to use its effect, you can stop its effect from resolving, because their card effects of your opponent cannot destroy Pendulum Zones. So that is obviously going to be a card effect trying to destroy their own Pendulum Zone even, but it won't be able to work. Same with Luster and Plushfire. So very, very good card. I sided Odd Eyes Fusion, and really, I didn't see it. But this was because I was never losing. If I had lost game 1, I would have sided this in. Because if I side this in going second, I have choice to go second, so I now get a 6th card. And they're probably going to have somewhat of a board up because they know it's Magicians, and if they leave an empty board, they're going to lose. So if they bring out 2 monsters, I'm now going to have a way to go plus. So I thought of it as kind of insurance to win game 2 if you lose game 1. It's not worthy of a main deck slot even, honestly. If you main it, you really end up discarding it for Pendulum Call like 90% of the time. I mean, I don't think it's worth playing that when you can play other cards that you can just discard and then instead add back with Oath Dragon or something. But yeah, it does amazing things if you have the insurance that you're going second and they know what they're playing, so they have to set up a board. So it will do good things there. Extra deck, we got Elder Entity Norden. We are running 1 instant fusion. It does make Dweller really stupid. That's about it. I'll go over Vortex later. We got Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. This is pretty dumb. Honestly, it's really dumb. You can make it with a level 4 and Noble Dragon, or you can make it the right way with Odd Eyes, Pendulum Dragon, then use like the effect of Noble Dragon to reduce it. Whatever you do, you make it, and then normally it leads into you making an Absolute, where you negate an attack with some low attack monster, detach the Meteor Burst, then bring out the Meteor Burst. So now you have like a 2500 and 2800 monster, if not more, and they're not going to be able to activate monster effects for the rest of the battle phase after this happens. Pretty strong. Abyss Dweller, good against Cosmo, good against if they have Clowns, very, very good. Yeah, good against BA, because that's still a deck, I guess. Castell, good at getting rid of Scales, good at getting rid of Anti-Spell, good at getting rid of, I don't know, lots of cards. Diamond Dyer, this was for getting rid of spells, or spell and trap removal pretty much, and getting out of floodgates. Ragna Zero, I'm gonna drop this. I don't like it. I'm gonna replace it for Bujin Tsukiyomi. That card is very, very good. We got Wisdom Eye, we got Damage Juggler, and we will have Trick Clown once I remember to put it back in my deck. Last rank 4, we got Trapeze Magician. Sets up tons of OTKs. This plus Absolute is an OTK. And if they do something to stop the OTK, you then blow up your Absolute and you get to summon a Vortex Dragon. Or, yeah. It's very, very good. Rank 6s, we got Norito, the Moral Leader. Very dumb card if you have a setup board and the only thing you can lose to is a Dark Hole Regeki, or if they activate a Scale. This can stop any of those 3 options. So it's actually magical. Utopia Beyond. This card is so dumb. 2 level 6 monsters. Make it with Oath Dragon and Kirin or something. And when it is summoned, all monsters your opponent controls become 0 attack. So this plus an Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, and if they have a face-up attack position monster, is exactly 8,000. But besides that, you can make this and crash anything you have or attack over a Dark Destroyer with anything you have. It wouldn't be a crash, actually. Sorry. We got Big Eye. Made Big Eye a lot. It's very good. Big Eye, stealing a Big Eye to steal something else is a very solid play. And it's actually a thing again. That was something that happened a lot during Dragon Ruler format, but now it's back. Ebon Illusion Magician. This card is really dumb when comboed with Norito. So you have two ways to bring it out. You can do it with 2 level 6s, or you can do it with 2 level 7s. Whatever you want to do. Really, really good. But you can bring out your level 4 normal and attack, and then banish, and then probably push for game. Very, very strong. I mean, it's also very good removal for scales, very good removal for floodgates, lots of things. So, Ebon not only pushes for game, is versatile in how you can make it. It can also make you make more rank 7s or rank 4s, because it can bring out either one. It's just really good. Double Absolute. So a lot of people are running double Meteor Burst over double Absolute, and I disagree with that. Mainly because I don't always make Absolute or Meteor Burst with my Pendulum Dragon, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. So normally it goes to the bottom of my deck where I want it. I don't want to draw into it again. And I don't want to waste summons on it, honestly. So I'd much rather summon level 7s and then bring back my Meteor Burst if it happens to die and I didn't win somehow with it out, which won't happen usually. But Meteor Burst, or the second Absolute, is actually also for sending to the graveyard if I ever do Odd Eyes Fusion. And yeah, another thing you can do, Absolute Dragon, when it's destroyed, or if it's just sent to the graveyard, it can bring out Vortex Dragon, so that's why I was maining the Vortex Dragon and not siding it as well. Vortex Dragon is very good, even if the fusion card to make it is not very good. I think Vortex Dragon is a solid card, and yeah, you gotta play it. So, a lot of things you can do about this. You can do Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon and a Trapeze Magician to ensure your Absolute gets sent to the graveyard at the end of the battle phase. Something I did quite often was Tribute Summon over it with Kirin or Oath Dragon Magician, and then that triggered its effect. If I tribute it over with a Kirin, and I brought out a Vortex Dragon, it is over for your opponent. It is actually over. Another thing you can do, pop it with Sky Iris. Why not? Very, very good. Just ensuring that Odd Eyes Absolute gets to the graveyard, so you can bring out Vortex is actually dumb. I don't know another way to describe it. So pretty much after this event, I guess this is something what it wouldn't look like. I would take that out, put Tsukiyomi in. I'd put in Trick Clown, if I could spell. So we got Trick Clown. I'd put that in there. And honestly, I don't think I would need the Maxi in the main. I would probably take out a Magical Spring and put in... Actually, I don't even need the side 3 Maxi, I decided. So I'd probably take that out and keep the Magical Spring in there. It's there. It's just not there right now. So we got... Pretty much that's the major change I want to make, is run 1 Trick Clown. Trick Clown's really dumb. The other thing I want to do is find space to bump Kirin up to 3. And at this point, I don't know what I would drop. I honestly have no intentions of dropping the way my field spells are, even it takes up 5 spaces. It's just so consistent for how I want to see them. Maybe the first card I would drop would have to be a Plush Fire, even though I really don't... I could honestly drop a Wavering Eyes before I want to drop anything else in my deck, which might sound strange, but that is how much I love the ratios in my deck. Instant Fusion could potentially go, although it is very important sometimes at making the Dweller to boost over your opponent's Dark Destroyer, I should say. But whatever you decide to do, if you take out the Instant Fusion, just know you can crash Absolute into your opponent's Dark Destroyer, bring out Rebellion, and then crash Rebellion into the Dark Destroyer. Obviously, you'd still want to have a Dweller out, but that's still a way you can get rid of it. But that is about it for the deck, guys. I loved how I did. I I chuoed everybody. I didn't go game 3 ever, not even once. I tied round 4, I want to say. I have to double check. And it was due to a stupid misplay, honestly. He could have won it because apparently he misplayed earlier. I could have won it because I misplayed on the turn that it mattered. And yeah, but I'm very proud of how everybody did that came with me. It was very fun. I met a lot of nice people. Shout out to pretty much anybody I played. Despot player was super cool. I like the Cypher player. He was really nice. I felt kind of bad playing against them because I knew exactly what Cyframes do, and that's kind of their upper hand. Honestly, not many people know how to play against Cyframes, and I've done a lot of testing with Cyframes. I think I have like 5 or 6 deck builds of it. But yeah. So I'm thinking about doing more in-depth ideas and combos with this deck. I think it's amazing, and I have been so hyped for it. I actually have a mat coming on the way that's been created by a really close friend of mine. He helps me so much. He makes all my thumbnails. He's a Redditor, Von Gore Storm. So yeah, thank you so much to him. I love the mat. I'm so hyped about it. It's Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon and Oath Dragon on it, and it's just like perfectly captures the deck. I love it. So thank you everyone who came. Thank you to the judges. Thank you for I don't know, like just being there. You guys are really helpful and you ran it very smoothly. So that's about it, and I'll try to top more. See you guys later. Bye.